Going on, everyone? Welcome, RM here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to mine CONFLUX. First step here into mining any cryptocurrency is you're going to need a wallet. I highly advise against mining to any crypto exchange because you may lose your coin. So always, please guys, mine to your own crypto wallets. Now, CONFLUX right on their website here does have a nice simple way for a wallet. And if you do want Ledger support, you can utilize MetaMask by this link here. I will have it in the description. It does tell you how to set up a Ledger wallet so that you can hold these even more secure. But we are going to utilize the main wallet here that they do recommend on the CONFLUX website. Simply go and hit the Create Wallet tab right here. This will bring you to the Fluent wallet. You just got to add it to Chrome. It's a simple browser extension, kind of like MetaMask, but this one is designated for CONFLUX only. Once you do get that, I'm going to go into mine right here, click on Fluent. It's going to ask you for a password, input your password and everything, and then you're going to get a seed phrase. Make sure you write that down and then confirm your seed phrase. That is how you're going to be able to back this up in the future. Once you go through those steps, here is your address. All you got to do is simply copy it right here, and now you have your address that you will be mining to. Next step here, and this one is for Windows, we're going to need our miner. So I'm going to be going with T-Rex, and yes, this is for NVIDIA GPU. So simply find the latest version. You're always going to want to run the latest version of any miner, and this is currently T-Rex 0.26.8. I will have a link down in the description for you guys, and here is the latest Windows version right here. So simply download that, and then we'll move on to extracting it. Navigate over to your downloads folder, double click on that, and then we're going to extract this to wherever we want it. So myself, I like to keep everything in order. So I'm going into my programs here. We're going to go into miners, GPU, and I'm going to create a new folder here. So new folder, and I want CFX T-Rex. So I'm going to go CFX T-Rex. Going to hit the OK there. It extracted, it's in there. Now navigate to wherever you did extract it for yourself. We're going to go into miners, GPU, and we can see that here we do have CFX T-Rex. So we're going to open that up, and here's all the bat files. Now you can actually delete every single one. You don't need all these files into here. I have multiple T-Rexes all over the place, and just the single bat file for the coin I want. So I did delete all the other bat files, and I renamed Wooly Pooly here into Hero Miners because we are going to be using the Hero Miners pool for this demonstration. Right click on your bat file, hit the edit button, and this will bring up all the parameters you are going to have to change. So let's just start so you know what everything means. Here is your little -A. This is Octopus. This is the algorithm of the coin you're mining. Your -O here is the stratum. So this is your pool address, which we will be changing from Wooly Pooly over to Hero Miners. -U, this is your CONFLUX address, followed by a period, and your rig name. Here it says rig 0. So example, this is my workstation. I'm going to change that to RabidWS, and then /P. This is actually your password. You can leave this as X or put it to whatever you would like. Let's start with our pool configuration. So you are going to want to pick the closest stratum to yourself because that will result in the lowest latency. Now there is an Eastern Canadian one here. I am from Canada, but I do find that Western United States, because I am on the Western side of Canada, is the lowest latency for me. So I'm going to go with USA West in this case. So I'm going to copy that stratum over. We're going to open up our bat file, and I'm going to change Wooly Pooly over to Hero Miners. So we're going to paste that in there. Our stratum, our pool is all configured. Now we're going to need to move on to our address. Depending on the wallet you did go with, I am going to open up my Fluent wallet here. I'm going to copy this address over, open up our bat file, and I'm going to adjust this complete thing right here. I'm going to paste that in like so. This does start with a CFX, as you can see up top. And now I'm going to adjust my rig name because we want to know what worker is doing what. So I'm going to go RabidWS. I'm going to leave my password as X. Just save that, and now you can begin mining CONFLUX. Now, if you go back to your bat file here, I do recommend right-clicking here, hitting properties, go to compatibility, and run this program as an administrator. You are going to want to run T-Rex as an admin. That way you can do your overclocking within the bat file. And we'll look at that in a minute here, but now you can see If you double click on this, it will ask you to run as an administrator. You hit yes. We'll bring this back down. You can see we are connecting to Hero Miners for Conflux. It's loading the DAG and everything, and we are now up and mining Conflux. But now we got to look into some overclocking, and this is if you want to do this within Windows, and there are two ways to overclock, and we'll look at both ways. So let's look into some Windows overclocking. And again, if you are using different overclock settings, let us know in the comment section before. That way, as the video matures, people can get an idea of what other people are using as well and kind of go from there. But I'm at hashrate.no right now, looking at a 3090 on Conflux, and it is saying to lock your core at 1300, memory clock offset. Now there are two here, Windows and Linux. Windows is always 50% less of what you're using in Linux and Hive OS and so on. So this is saying 950 megahertz in Windows. So that's what we're going to be using here. The power limit is saying 350 watts. We're locking our core, so that should kind of set our power limit by itself by locking it there. And the TDP of a 3090 is about 350 watts in the first place. So if we bring up our actual bat file here, I do have the commands. Now, if you want to find all the commands you can use, you can simply open up their README, go to edit here, and this is a whole bunch of lists of multiple commands you can use within your bat file for T-Rex miner. So you can do all that. I have the main ones that we need right here already put in, and I set it to these settings here. So here you can see --lock -C clock 1300. This will lock your core clock, and then --M clock 950 will increase plus 950. This is not a memory clock lock. This is just increasing, overclocking, I guess, the memory by 950. Now, this is also why you want to run this as an admin. I right clicked there and showed you earlier to set this as an admin, because now every time we click this, it will ask to be an admin, and you do need admin rights in order to set those overclocks. So as you can see here, we lock the clock at 13 and we have plus 950 on our memory, and we're doing it within the T-Rex miner itself. Now let's take a look at LOL miner, and you can do this another way. Now, the other way you can overclock your GPU for mining, and I find to use this way a lot more lately, and it bypasses setting up your whole config file and everything. But I have a dummy OC folder here. This is LOL miner version 1.66 and later will work. So if I open this up, you right click on LOL miner GUI, run this as administrator. Remember, you always got to run these things as an admin. Now, if I come into here, I'm going to lock my core clock. So I'm going to need to check mark this one, and we need our memory offset. So I'm going to click on that. So here we're going to go to 1300, and then here we're going to go 950. And now we're just going to apply OCs. It's going to do that. And here you can see it overclocked, or it locked our clock here now at 1305. And then it added the extra 950 onto our memory. So that's another way that you can just do this. And then you just leave this running and begin mining. This bypasses setting up the whole bat file with all those overclock settings if you don't really know how to figure it out. And this might be a lot easier for you. Well, you should be up and mining in Windows by now. So now let's move on to Hive OS and show you how to do it here. So first thing we're going to need is obviously we're going to need to add our wallets. We're going to click on the wallets tab here within our farm. We're going to open up our Conflux wallet again, our Fluent here, and simply copy that. Now we're going to hit add wallet. We're going to type coin and tracker. So I'm just going to go CFX right here, address, paste that in, and then name it whatever you want. In this case, I'm going to go CFX web wallet. Now, if this was my ledger, I'd probably call it a ledger or something, but we are using the web wallet. Create, and that's it. Our wallet is all set up and can be used anywhere else when we plan on trying to mine Conflux. Next step is now we're actually going to have to set up our flight sheet. In Hive OS, this is the same as setting up your bat file. So click on flight sheets here. It's going to have a blank template here. We're going to pick our coin. So CFX. Pick that wallet, the one you just named. We just went with CFX web wallet here. And then we're going to select our pool. It's as simple as clicking on Hero Miners and then select the stratum. Again, remember, you're going to want to pick the closest stratum. If you're unfamiliar, you can simply go to the pool here and figure out which one's best. So here you can see all the stratums again. Pick the one you want, come into your flight sheet, and just simply select it. Here I'm going with USA West, as I mentioned in the Windows version. That is my lowest latency over the Eastern Canadian one, being from Canada myself. Hit the apply button, and now we're going to select our miner. You have the choice here of nano miner and B miner. We're going with T-Rex miner again, and then we're going to select the name here. I'm just going to go T-Rex CFX Hero Miner. So I absolutely know exactly what's going on within this flight sheet. Hit the create flight sheet. Our flight sheet is now ready. So we're going to need to set up a little bit of overclocking. I do have an RTX 3060, a couple of them, and two A2000s. So to set up our 3060s here, I need a core clock offset by the looks of things of 200 megahertz and a memory clock offset of 2200 megahertz. Again, we're in Linux, not Windows this time. So we are double of what our Windows numbers would be, depending on your GPU. If this was Windows for a 3060, we'd be using 1100 megahertz, but we are in Hive OS. 2200 is what we'll go with, and no locked core clock. So 200 megahertz plus, and then 2200 on the core offset. So we're going to come into all here. Actually, we can just do it individually. So this one, we want 200. So that's going to be a plus 200. And then memory clock, we're going to want 2200. And I believe I fast forward to that. It was 135 power limit. So I'm going to apply that. And this sets it all up here. I'm just going to go back. Yes, it's telling us 135 watts on the power limit. So I have that GPU set up. That now you can just go through each individual GPU that you have and set it up. Or if you had like all the same or something, you can come into all. And if you were just to go 200 like this, it would have them. So if I get rid of these zeros here, it'll put the exact same overclock settings across every GPU. See how it put everything in here. So if you want to do individual ones, all you got to do is simply put a space. So we're going to go 200. Let's say 100, then 100 for our A2000s, and then 200 again. And this will just give you a demonstration purposes of how it'll adjust it. So you can see the first one was 200, then 100, 100, and then 200. One last look again in order of the GPUs, 0 down to however many GPUs you have. We'll set individual overclocks per GPU. Now just head over to the flight sheet that you just made. Look for the little rocket ship icon right here. Hit that and go to the moon. Give it about 10 to 20 seconds. It'll load the DAG, and we should start seeing hash rate any minute. Well, you can see we have hash rates on the two RTX 3060s. I did have to disable the A2000s because it looked like they didn't have enough memory to load the DAG. It looks like these are 6 gigabytes, so you probably need something 8 gigabytes plus in order to mine CONFLUX. And I'll just run through how to disable those right quick. So if we go to the edit here of our bat file, setup miner config, inside here you can see devices 0 and 3. These are the two 3060s, 0 and 3. So if I go to the overview again, you can see GPU 0 and GPU 3 are the ones that are currently mining, and I skipped GPU 1 and 2, and these things are not mining. So if I wanted, I could make another flight sheet and point these two GPUs at something else. There you go, everyone. That is how you mine CONFLUX to hero miners. I hope this video helped you out, and if you have more overclock settings, again, let me know down in the comment section below. And are you mining CONFLUX? Thank you for watching. I will see you on the next one. RM out.